Hello and welcome back. Now today I want to look at one of these incredibly cheap 7-inch Android tablets that I picked up on eBay. How cheap? What would you believe? £23 UK delivered. Now I've had this tablet about a month and I have noticed that the supplier has now increased his price to just under £25, but it's still a very good buy. Now, before we get too far into this review, I want to clear something up because I know I'm going to get comments saying, yeah, Fred, you were done. These tablets are only £9.99 on eBay. You get them much cheaper than £25. But you can't, believe me, you can't. I've done my research here. These are currently going around about £25, £26. Now, if you see them cheaper, then you've got to dig a little bit further into the adverts because on first glance, yeah, they really do look like they're selling these for £10. And you go to the listing, yeah, look at this, look, £10 to £30. You even click on it and there it is, buy it now, £9.99. But you've got to go in a little bit more detailed here. Look at the drop down selection where it says colour. And if you look at that, you'll notice that for your £9.99, all you're going to get is a pink silicone gel case. Yeah, that's right, you click on that and there it is, £10, which is quite expensive actually for a gel case. And if you go back to the list and you actually pick a tablet with the gel case like you think you're buying, well then the price jumps up to 30 quid. And yeah, okay, 30 UK pounds for a 7-inch tablet and a gel case that will actually fit isn't a bad price, but you do kind of feel you're getting done. So take it from me, okay? These tablets are retailing at 25 UK pounds, which is incredibly cheap for a 7-inch Android tablet. So right, I'm glad I got that sorted out. Okay, let's have a closer look at the one I bought. So obviously this is an Android tablet. It's running 4.4.2 Kitkat, has a 7-inch capacitive touchscreen, has a resolution of 1024 by 600, but it will play 1080p video. It runs as a 1.0 GHz A33 quad-core processor. It packs 512 megabytes of RAM, has 8 gigabytes of fast flash hard drive, has a micro SD card slot with a maximum capacity of 32 gigabytes. The battery is a 3.7 volt 2500 amp hour. It gives you roughly about 3 hours of surfing and about 2.5 hours of more intensive use, such as sort of gameplay and things like that. It has 802.11 Wi-Fi, V2.1 Bluetooth, and has 2 cameras. It has a 2 megapixel camera on the rear and a pretty lousy 0.3 megapixel on the front. So, did you get all that? Well, it makes no difference actually if you did or not, because you'll find that the spec for these tablets is changing almost daily, and by the time I get this video up on YouTube, you'll probably find a processor has gone up to 1.3 and you're probably getting a gig of RAM. Now, these tablets really are aimed more at children. They're cheap, they're disposable, and if you get one of these soft plastic silica cases, they almost are indestructible. Right, enough waffling on about spec. Let's have a look at the tablet itself. Alldaymall. Don't really get that name. Maybe it's the American version of Mail, you know, like you can buy one all day. Right, straight in the box, well, you get a 5-volt plug-in charger, which should hopefully have the socket of your country's choice. Yeah, alright, I did find that this charger took an incredibly long time to recharge the tablet. In fact, using the wall charger, it was twice as long as using the small micro USB charger. So in fact, I just didn't bother with a wall charger. From the moment I started using it, I just used the micro USB. So it comes with a set of instructions. Well, no, actually no, it's a pamphlet. I can't call it instructions. You literally get one page of the country of your choice and it just tells you how to switch it on. Completely useless, and you'll never look at it again. Right, moving on to the tablet itself. Yeah, quite nicely packed. Doesn't come with any sort of sleeve or protective case or anything like that, but you can't moan for £25, can you? And here it is. Now, my one came with a protective sort of screen covering on it. Didn't actually like that, and I took mine off. You might want to leave it on if you've got children. And also over the cameras, there was also a protective film that made the resolution even worse than it actually was, so you need to remove that. And then you've simply on the back here, you've got your micro SD card slot, your charging ports, the USB one and the 5 volt, and volume switch and off switch, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Okay, right, we're going to switch it on now, but I'm going to move to a slightly darker room because the screen is very reflective. Now, any lines or moire effect that you will see in this video is purely the camera mismatching against the screen. In real life, it's not there. It's actually a very clear screen. So it runs Android Kitkat. This will be familiar to anyone that runs an Android phone. And the first thing I want to do here is set up our Wi-Fi. It also has Bluetooth. Doesn't really use that on mine, so I think it's version 2.1 or something like that. But you know what? The screen isn't bad. Yeah, okay, it's not an iPad, but you don't expect it at this price. But it's capacitive and it's quite responsive. I was pleasantly surprised. So you do get your basic lifestyle apps already loaded on the tablet itself, a calendar, an email browser and a web browser. But you know what, at this price bracket, these things I think are mainly going to be aimed at children. So of course the kids will want to go to the Play Store straight away and download their latest games, Pokemon or whatever it is at the moment. And you know what, once you get onto the Wi-Fi, it's reasonably snappy. It's quite good. I was pretty impressed once again. It seems to download sort of quite quickly. So this is where your kids are going to go, isn't it? They're going to look along and sort of find all of their latest games. It's a shame that these things come with so many annoying sort of pop-up adverts. But what we'll do is I'll find a couple of these and we'll give it a go. We'll test out the graphics capability. It is a quad-core processor rated at 1 GHz, so it should be reasonably snappy. Right, let's have a look at a classic Angry Birds and we'll see how it copes with it. And what I'll do is I'll shut up just for a minute so you can hear the sound along with watching the graphics. So there you go, as you'd expect with a 1 GHz quad-core processor, it handles that no problem. Now the tablet does have a motion sensor built in, so the kids can use that to steer whatever their games they're playing. So we give that a try. We'll try a sort of racing game here. And once again, I'll be quiet and you can hear how it gets on with this one. So yeah, no problem at all. The graphics keep up, there's no jerkiness and the sound's fine. So I think this would keep a pre-teen child quite amused. Right, okay, other than games, what else do kids like? Well, then, of course, they like movies. Now, this does have an SD card, which you can then load on their favourite cartoons or videos or anything like that. Now, I haven't actually got anything really loaded. All I've got is this pretty naff clip of this dash cam that I did ages ago. But you get the idea. It will play a movie that you can save yourself. And it does all of the files, MP4 and a whole list of sort of files. So, once again, that'll keep them going on a long car journey. Now, if you've got Wi-Fi, well, yeah, straight away they can get onto YouTube. Now you do get these rather annoying adverts on Android, unfortunately. That's one thing that the iOS seem to have got rid of, but there we go. I'll just try and find something here which isn't going to be copyright protected and get my video muted, and we'll give that a go. And once again, I'll shut up. Yeah, and there you go. Well, you know, 1080p, 30 frames a second, plays perfectly smoothly. It's a little bit tinny and quiet on the sound, but maybe that's not a bad thing for kids. Right, one last thing I want to show you is the camera. Yeah, okay, probably the weaker point of the pad itself. 2 megapixels on the back, only 0.3 on the front. And it's not brilliant, you know. It hasn't got the spot focus and the spot exposure that you would get on an iPhone or an iPad. But yeah, again, you know, for kids, you're not going to do your home movies on it, but for kids it does have a basic pinch and zoom sort of function. It will do video and stills, and yeah, I think for kids it's probably good enough. So, final conclusions. Well, of course it's not an iPad mini, but you wouldn't expect that for a tenth of the price. I was actually pleasantly surprised that 1 GHz processor is enough to make it snappy. The capacitive touchscreen was better than I did expect, and I think if you put one of these in a soft silicone gel case, absolutely ideal to keep a kid amused on a long car journey. Well, for me though, a bit of a shame, because all I actually want to use it for is an external monitor for my Wi-Fi security camera, and for 25 quid, well, I'm not complaining at that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. I hope it was useful to you. Please subscribe if you want to see more of the same, but of course, as for now, as always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye bye now.